Well, I'm having fun just kind of poking around. Oh. I left myself in a health state last time, didn't I? So that all leads... Yeah, okay. Right, this is the way back down because we just fought the big bad. There we go. Right, that's where we left off. When you're exploring in a big circle, just gotta reorient yourself when you load the game again. Oh, right. They just put me back upstairs. That's... yeah. I left off to just hopping in this boat. Hit. I dig this lake. The water level stuff's neat. And seeing the way that they had to do some really clever level design is really cool to see. The way they had to set these elements. There's more A-gear gold. They had to set up all of these different elements so that you could access each of them from every water level. So like I've been to some of these, to parts of these cliffside exploration spots before.
Why don't you tell us the story of the giant that stole Thor's hammer?
Happily, my boy. It involves your friend Freya too, though I don't expect it's one she'd enjoy being reminded of. The giant was called Thrym. And he proved cunning enough to make off with Mjolnir while the Thunder Lummox slept. Sadly for Thrym, he didn't always think with his brain. Though he had robbed the greatest giant killer of his greatest weapon, he offered to trade it back to the Aesir in exchange for Freya as his bride. Now, at this point, Freya was married to Odin, and Odin, frankly, would have traded her for a sufficiently strong mead, but he saw an opportunity for her. Thrym's palace was in Jotunheim, and only giants knew the way. By agreeing to the marriage, they'd have to escort Freya back to their realm. So, Odin coerced Freya into using her Seithr magics to conceal Thor, so he could sneak along with her and infiltrate Jotunheim. When the hammer was produced as the wedding dowry, Thor revealed himself. He took back Mjolnir and wasted no time in smashing Thrym's skull, followed by every other giant present for the festivities. The only thing that put a stop to it was Freya, who wanted no part of this massacre. She cast a powerful spell that hurtled them both out of Jotunheim with no means of return. Odin was livid, hoping that Thor's foothold in Jotunheim would become his own. And oh, would he ever revenge himself upon Freya?
What is the point of this story, Head?
Well, for Thrym, the lesson would be to keep his priorities straight. For Freya, it's that doing good has a price. For Thor, it's that no object of power makes you what you are. And if what you are is the biggest butchering bastard in the Nine Realms, nobody can take that away from you.
That's different. We have a divergence. And admittedly, the one that I read is an adaptation, so it might not either match. It might not always match the source material exactly either. But this one's a very different direction. In part because it seems to be a setup for part of the reason of why Freya and Odin are on the outs, and their situation, because all around Odin's a real garbage person and Freya isn't. Because in the version I had, it was Loki's always able to transform and disguise himself just fine. That part's easy. So Loki disguised himself as not Loki, but they had to disguise Thor by dressing him up. But in this version, Loki's not involved at all. In fact, Loki has never been mentioned yet, I think. Yeah, Loki's a pretty central figure, actually. He shows up a lot, and he's a very popular character. And he's not been named ever, I don't think, in this universe. No. On top of this changes about how, like, Freya is Odin's wife and things like that. But in this case, I was waiting for the idea of disguising Thor as the bride, but it sounds like what actually happened is that Freya went in as the bride to be, and instead Thor was just kind of invisible or otherwise disguised and kind of leapt from the shadows or came into being in front of everybody the moment that they laid eyes on Mjolnir. And Freya actually was there, which is why Freya was also able to expel everyone from the realm once the massacre began. Because Odin had further designs on this plan. It wasn't just about getting Mjolnir back, it was about establishing a foothold to then continue the wars with the giants, in this case in their own home. Which is brutal, because that's an occupation. That's an occupation and proper conquest and stuff in response to one person's misdeed. But that's what they do, because they're so busy with this desire to always conquer and to war, because they're the war gods. The gods of war. God, if this game was a fucking reboot that was called Gods of War, I would lose my mind. Oh, all of the reboots and sequels that are just the previous name, but plural, annoy me. The only one that gets a pass is Aliens. Because the alien was such a threat that having more aliens is like, oh, that's tantalizing. Although those aliens were much less of a threat. But I think that might be because the people in Aliens were much more war-oriented than the people in Alien. I see ya, Eyes of Odin. I'm gonna catch every single one of you, unless it gets too hard, in which case, oh well. Where am I? Because we discovered a new chunk of map, right? The Landsuther Mines. Ooh, and it wraps around back to here and stuff. And I can't read that. So, hooray. Let's see. It is true. Yeah, doing that kind of thing does refill your health. How useful. Because I had no health. So I should just activate these whenever I see them to heal. If that's necessary. So where in the hell are we? Besides the name, obviously. I mean, I would just read it, but you know.
We're not getting in there without a key.
Oh, cool. So it's a dead end. Hooray. Still, not that bad. I unlocked a, I did happen to unlock this, so I have a shortcut for the moment. I guess I might as well just walk into this then. But I'm fairly convinced I'm gonna get the ability to warp to all these because they all got locks saying you can't travel there yet. Kind of gives the game away. So I'm sure before long we'll be able to travel to all those locations. So while the trip was semi-wasted.
Well, you gentlemen certainly know how to get around.
Now I'll
Why
get
don't
to
you tell me how all this began with Baldur?
He just knocked on our door.
Baldur of Asgard just knocked on your door.
Yeah, he just showed up and started a fight. He said he wanted to know something. He said, I know what you are.
Oh, well, we'll circle back to that later. What exactly did he want to know?
I was on it before by then.
He said I already knew what he wanted. Perhaps he mistook me for another.
That's quite interesting.
Well, they're a prophecy-oriented people. That's the thing about dealing with people who can tell the future. They know that we're a problem, so they came after me, and they came after us, with it being unclear which one of us he was after. He definitely seemed interested in there being another person in the building, so he might have been coming for Atreus specifically. And since they're prophecy-oriented, that means they may know things we don't already know. And like I've said before, a kind of irony and comedy to this whole thing is that oftentimes the people that they insist on hunting down are the people that like become enemies as a result of their, like, a lot of their attempts to escape these prophecies kind of create the results they were trying to avoid, causing things like, you know, creating enemies that didn't exist there before and making enemies of the people that are the subjects of said prophecy as being the problem and so on, like in the case of Fenrir.
Oh there! Got another favor to ask you two.
What do you want, dwarf?
I got another lead on my old pal Anvari. Meet me at the Lawnsoother mines. There's some fancy-dancy loot in it for you.
Another lead? But we already found him. Well, found his hand anyways.
I'll explain at the mines. These ones is just south of the river pass. Now you two want something, or you just gonna stand there all gag-strapped and slack-jawed?
Oh no, I did waste the trip, because now I'm just gonna fucking go there again.
Pull the ring off Anvari's hand at the Velander mines. Feller was always tampering with souls and dark rituals and matters of the night, see?
Damn it, I thought I just got the ability to upgrade something that I wanted to
Just
upgrade.
the sound of his hammer flattening metal were enough to stoke my fires all blissful. Shit, you better clear out before I get all frisky.
I'm not equipping those though. That's something, I suppose. From level 3 to level 4. I still need to get Leapter alloy. And here's the Talisman of Protection. I'm not exactly hurting for those resources right now. Not at all, am I? Alright, that's probably most of the money I have anyway. Oh, those are purchase screens.
What you need, kid?
Right, that's the hard steel.
Anything else for
Okay.
you?
So Leapter alloy is the big thing. So, turns out I need to retrace my steps. Well, it's their own fault for not letting me fast travel.
Atreus, follow me.
Be right there.
So things bode super poorly for Baldur at this moment, because he's gone and antagonized us, which isn't really the greatest move in general. But he's done it because of a prophecy. That's my guess, at least, because that's probably the prophecy of his own death. And we've already gained mistletoe, so this story has kind of become the central thing. In fact, the game seems to have already attempted misdirection by having all of the mistletoe get burned, except for the fact that Atreus visibly still has mistletoe on his body at all times. So it seems like they're currently reenacting exactly what I've surmised from this mythology in general, which is that
Something down there.
because of their fear of these prophecies, they create enemies, because Atreus and I didn't give a shit about them until this happened, and they're really inflicting themselves upon us. So not only do they create their enemies in response to these prophecies, but for all I know, they're going to just create... They're just gonna fulfill said prophecy by trying to stop it. Because I am the god of war, Kratos, you know, the video game character best known for the series of gods he's killed. So antagonizing us on purpose probably isn't a great plan. I think I can see a lot of the pieces kind of falling into place here. But it isn't about the what, it's about the how. Because we're not, the mystery isn't what's going to happen, but more how it's going to happen. Because we kind of know going into these games, Kratos is going to do a kill on the guys. It's kind of his thing. Be a bit of a departure if he didn't go do a kill on the guys. We have the added flavor of him being a daddy and all that these days, but he's probably still going to do a kill on the guys. It's probably still his thing, you know? Call me crazy. I love that role.
Well, looky who decided to show. Talk to this here ring.
What? I can't hear thoughts from rings, Brock. It's talking to me! It's Andvari!
Ha! Knew it.
He says he went to the Velander mines to observe his mistake, but then the Soul Eater attacked, so as he was being ripped apart, he cast a spell that removed his soul and put it in this ring. And then he...
What about all his stuff?
Huh?
Andvari had a workshop here with all sorts of posh doodads and ornatory tools, and one beaut of a hammer. You make mention of it still in there?
You're upsetting him.
Your point? You fellas take Andvari with you and go have a look-see. If you find his hammer, I'll whip up something real nice for you. Hey now, don't go forgetting your entry stone.
Oh, you're hurting his feelings because you don't care about his death.
Andvari isn't happy about us taking his stuff.
I do not care.
I'm not gonna tell him that.
Oh, this is a whole new dynamic. We spent like a good 15 hours establishing the dynamic of Kratos and Atreus. So now we can just add other characters to the formula in the case of Mimir or Andvari, or we already had Brock and Sindri, obviously. But like we can just keep having them introduced with interact with third parties and have that play off each other.
Hostiles up ahead.
You don't say. That's never happened before. Aw, I guess I was overly optimistic about that. Whoop. I may have made a mistake. Yep, there's my mistake. The mistake is that I'm likely supposed to see their yellow coloration as indication of them being lightning. I probably was supposed to switch to light arrows immediately. And so I have.
Andvari says this dwarf was part of his crew. That he died because of his mistakes. He sounds sad.
The ring's grief is of little importance, boy.
The ring's a person, though. Wow, he looks like he died horribly. But that guy looks way taller. Oh, he's not getting back up. Oh, right, I have that. Some tricks to keep in mind. Oh. Hi. How you doing? Oh! That one's covered in the sap. That goes all explodey. There it is. Like somewhere around here there's got to be the spot. Okay, come on, kid. There's no tell him to go to place button, right? I really wish there was a go there, kid button. It's not very helpful when he just doesn't help you. Kid, come on. Boy. I can't, like, he won't move. Why is he fixed to the spot? You want me to open this door? It's not even openable from this spot. Do I have to go up here? Can I climb? Okay. So I have to be right here. Even though I have angles at other spots. There we go. Wow.
Oh, he did not like that. He's warning us not to go down there.
Stop listening to the ring, boy. It cannot be trusted.
Also, rings don't tell me what to do. What about you? The crank back there. Maybe there's a different passage that leads there from behind. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. All right. You guys aren't supposed to be here. There we go. Oh, right. Turns out I didn't have to go down there to start what was coming next. They were more than happy to come to me. Easy enough detour. Soft steel and more scales. This place is pretty airy for a mine. Lots of open air, skylights, and all that. Good times. Ah. Oh, the lightning's getting stuck on the wall. Ah. Auto aim, you failed me.
Silence that ring, boy.
I don't know how.
That's not very nice, Kratos. That ring is a person.
Focus up, boy.
Where is this going? Hello. This place has turned out to be a whole thing. I don't really want to know how the elves put out this weird, gross snot coral. Wow. Well, that looks cool. Based on the size of that passage, I'm thinking that's the main path. What's up with this little elevator right here? Where does this go? Back up. Maybe to, yep, to this place. Found it.
Boy,
Yes, sir. Treasure map. All right.
Another one of these. Kneel before Thor. I've lived to serve the god of thunder, and I bury my greatest treasure where all inhabitants of Midgard should dwell, at the feet of the god of gods. So near the statue. Ooh. Hardened Svartalheim steel. I should find that. I found most of these. Ooh, this one's by that one weird corpse. That's interesting. Oh, and I'm just now seeing where the treasure's buried. It's the weird Cthulhu circle. You see, that's not what I would associate with being a buried treasure spot. And a lot of the time it's on the spine of the book, so it's kind of hard to see. But now that I see what I'm looking for, I finally get it. I've so far found them on accident. I just find an interactive spot and click on it. But I should look for these things because it's where I'll get more Svartalheim, which is kind of important for some of my progress. That one's by Thor's statue, and this one is by the corpse thing I found in the ice or whatever a while ago. Whatever was up with that. The Thor one's probably the more useful one, because I think I had something specific I needed for the hard steel. All right. The Cave of Giant Formations. This place is trippy.
A soul eater.
and a traveler. Guard up.
Oh. Wow. Two consecutive episodes of fighting this kind of guy. Do I need to find the Soul Eater too? I think I do. Okay, so double boss fight? That's not great news for me. And additional foes have arrived. Who do I fight first?
I'm set.
At the moment, the Traveler doesn't seem to care about me. Are you shooting him? Don't antagonize the dude. Oh, he's weaker. Okay. But he's still invulnerable to a lot of these attacks. Oh, still fighting another one. Who was just talking to me? Who's talking to me? Where you at? Is it a survivor of the project? Do we find a survivor?
A dead soul eater. What's a soul eater even doing here?
Oh, it's Mimir. Never mind.
What do you mean it's your fault?
Boy, ignore him.
It's sort of tough for me to ignore.
Let's deal with this stuff first before you go poking that. Traveler's Grizzly Trophy. Some hack silver. Armor shard. More hack silver. More hack silver. Yeah, I forgot Mimir's here still, so he's the one that's warning me about things behind me, which makes a lot of sense. Actually, it kind of contextualizes him being on my butt. Look at this cave. Ah. What a great visual. I love these things. Can't go through the water. I imagine it's probably going to awaken and fight me, but maybe not yet. Clear.
He
What?
says this chest will trigger a bunch of traps.
Cool. Let's do it. Come at me.
I see no traps.
Sounded so sure about it.
25% resistance to all status effects, including frost, wind, blind, daze, and poison. And burn. Yeah. I said wind on accident for some reason. That's a lot of things. Wow. Oh, but burn's not the same thing as fire damage, I don't think, is it? But that's a good thing to have on you. I need to revisit my enchantments and kind of spend some time looking through them. Really, there's a continuous inward flow. Yeah, because I guess there's a river. Going somewhere. It will be funny if suddenly we start seeing a lot of those traps all of a sudden that seem to not be showing up. So, are we gonna do this or not? Weird. It's just such a strong suggestion of an incoming fight. Maybe not. Ah!
Nice shot.
Oh. Big spike of experience there. Nice of y'all to like melt when I hit you. They had time for hangings, huh? The elves kind of strike me as a kill them on sight kind. This area is really a whole thing, huh? None of your boxes shall survive the winter. Hey, that's the moment. Yep. The moment I saw a chamber like this, I'm like, there's gonna be an Eye of Odin somewhere around here. I've now found the majority of them. Oh, it landed up there, I think.
Barry says his workshop is up there. But I know. Don't trust the talking ring.
Ah, we've opened up more. It looks pretty workshopy. Also open to the elements, huh? I guess the other guys were too. Oh boy. I can guard break too, damn it. Yeah, sure. Oh god. Cut him in half. I do like the detail that they can escape my launch. The attack that usually launches them in the air doesn't work. Because they just fly out of it.
Father, please, just listen. Invari's crew did something bad here. He's glad you destroyed his lab, and he's sorry you kept trying to trick him. His hammer is just through this gate.
Why do I feel like that's the... Is that a lie, though? Ooh. There's a chest over there that I get to by jumping from across there. Have I been there yet? We'll be right back. Ooh, this wraps around to there, doesn't it? That's nice. It sounds like the explodey stuff is nearby. Oh, that's just the brazier. Yeah, that's where the sound's coming from. I thought it might have been the stuff that you shoot with a lightning arrow to explode. Still hearing more sounds nearby. I could spend a lot of time agonizing over that stuff. Just curious whether frost will put it out as an element. Ooh, gold. Aegir's protection, epic talisman. Create a small defensive zone that prevents Kratos' attacks from being interrupted and reduces the amount of damage he takes. When upgraded, it restores a small amount of health as well. Damn. The first of its kind. But that's a real pain in the ass to upgrade. Oh, there we go. There was bound to be a way forward somewhere. Oh, it's just for you. You've got to open this up for me. There we go. There we go. You've got it.
Boy, over here.
Another treasure map?
Sir. Okay, that's going in the journal.
The Soul Eaters. Removing an ancient soul and domesticating it as a beast of burden was surprisingly easy. They followed my every command, and appeared to possess no free will, sense of self-preservation, or even hunger. Well, not until it turned poor Lit into ashes. Not even his soul remained. A lack of their own must be what drives them to immolate the souls of others. My Soul Eaters are an abomination. Several were sent to Muspelheim at the request of Suter. What he will use them for, I shudder to consider. Another of Motsognir at Kunungsgard. That fool can burn for all I care. My immediate concern is the dwarves of the Voldner mines. I pray I'm not too late to undo my mistake. Anvari. So he created this. So the guy, that's the guy that's in the ring, right? He created these in the first place. But they've existed. Maybe he didn't create all of them. Because they've apparently existed long enough that, like, there were stories his mother told him. And yet, the way that Brock treats this, it sounds like it's a recent occurrence, his disappearance. Ooh. Who doesn't like a good one of these?
Can we keep him?
We will talk to the blue one.
Someone about to be mad at me? Yeah, they are. Boop. Naughty, naughty. We will talk to the blue one. Whether it's apple or meat, I get. Oh, no.
This is a fine hammer.
Anvari says thank you.
Huh. Deus Ex Malachite. Interesting. Yeah. It wasn't a health or another upgrade. But it was our objective. Ah, and we're back at the surface. If only we could have just hopped up there, then this whole thing would be over. Well, it is over, but you know. You know what words mean. That was briefer than the last one, I
You
think.
find that hammer, or you too busy looting every keyhole and cranny?
The answer is yes to both.
Here, the alchemist's hammer. His spirit is a nuisance.
Yeah, Anvari always was an asshole. Hell of an alchemist, though. Hand him over here and I'll melt him down.
What? You're going to melt down your friend?
A trapped soul's what I need to give your reward some extra oomph. You don't want it?
Father, we can't do that. Here, you hold on to him. He's really useful, I promise.
Fine. So long as he proves his worth.
Anvari's soul.
Kid's a
Very.
bit of a softy, huh?
Yeah.
Well, he'll grow out of it.
Very
Brock,
high perk activation.
Could you take a look at this?
What you got for old Brock?
Very high perk activation to grant a health burst on any successful runic attack kill. Whoa. Oh. So runic attacks are my two charged attacks, right? My two big ones. So that means that's a healing method now, and this is a passive, or is it a gem? It's an enchantment. I think that means it's a gem. Well. Yeah, let's jam it in there. It's level 6, apparently. Then Shroud of the Elements. Pretty big resistance gem. Strikes me as being a big deal. These are getting higher level. This was 6% axe throw damage, which is not a ton. 15% frost. Yeah, they're not huge deal things. Probably leave that for now. Alright, we're good to go. Do some spending. Returning Whirlwind. So R1 recalls the Leviathan axe when you're barehanded to do a special hit. More targets for the multi-target thing that I don't actually use, but hey, that means this entire tree is full. And also this entire tree is full. So, I'll be more than happy to spend experience on other upgrades in the future, I suppose. Oh shit. Wasn't I going to do that actually? Gotta remember to check these things. Was it you? I remembered. 2 additional wolves. I remember at the last second right before I passed under 3,000, 13,000. That wasn't even fully upgraded, but now it is. More wolves.